let's talk about the most important skill that you need in order to learn anything. So let me start with a bit of a story. I started doing gymnastics a while ago, and one of my goals when doing gymnastics was to learn to do a muscle up. Yeah, that's not that easy. And because I'm not a very clever person, I started to try to do this when I was on my 30s. So how I tried to start doing this was by first start to trying to do it on a bar, which is not as easy as you think. It requires much more skill than doing with the rings. After trying many times, I noticed that, well, this thing with the bar is not going anywhere. Let's try with the rings. So what I tried is that you try to pull up yourself and I basically never managed to get over even the ring. So it was just like quite frustrating the first day, just trying to kind of jump and do all the kind of weird things that you can imagine. So I could hurt my shoulders. Luckily, I didn't. So practically in the end of the day, I didn't manage to do anything. And I'm not even sure that I managed to learn anything either from that first time. After having sore muscles for several days, what I did is that the next time, maybe 1 week or 2 weeks later, I started to try again. Try many times. Nothing progress. Then I thought that, well, I had to find maybe some resource out there that can help me. Luckily here I found Carl Paoli. Thank you, Carl. Carl did an awesome thing for me. He was able to break down what a muscle up is in 3 actionable steps. So first of all, forget about the muscle up. So first law of learning the muscle up, forget about the muscle up. Manage to do strict pull-ups on those rings. Why? Because you are going to get the strength to get higher on the rings and have the strength that you will need to pull up yourself. It's not just so easy as just doing pull-ups, you also had to learn to do a false grip. You don't grip like this, you grip like this, which is a lot of fun first of all for this part of the hand or wrist. Next, once you have the strength for the pull-ups, learn to do dips. Be able to get out of that position that you are. Once you go over the rings, you have to go up all the way so you finalize the muscle. This might sound easier than it is, because what happens when you do a muscle up is that after the first strength, after the first pull, when you get over the rings, you are pretty exhausted, especially the first times. So doing that dip in the end might not be so easy. So you have to have the strength to be able to do that. And third, the most difficult one and technical one is learn to do the transition from the pull up to the dip all the way to the muscle up. Also, thanks Carl again for giving me those steps. But now you have the steps, but the reality is that just knowing the steps doesn't mean that I could do this in 1 day. I tried to do it, I tried to do one thing, then the next one, then the third one, they tried to combine, they failed miserably. Next one, what happens is that, well, let's take one step at a time and nail it down. And forget about all the other steps until I have all of them ready. So what I did over the next weeks and months was to concentrate on each one of the steps and be able to get them done properly. And guess what? Do you know how long it took me to learn to do a muscle up and to get the first ones, really bad ones, done? It's probably about a year. So if you think for the person's point of view, what did I do? I tried to build something, I tried to build a muscle up. I just couldn't. I just tried to identify what was not working. I just didn't have the strength or know how to do the technique. So I was being able to measure the failures that I was having. But then I was also able to learn from those ones and take the actions, go to YouTube and search and find what would be the steps for me to be able to learn to do the muscle up. And while all these steps are great and dandy, and this is what we are hearing all the time when we talk about products and developing products and product management and so on, which I love to talk all the time about, the reality is that there was only one thing that actually helped me succeed and finally learn this skill. And this was consistency. Without consistency, I would have never been able to do this. What kept me trying, what kept me measuring what I was achieving, what kept me learning also from those mistakes or lacks that I had, was being able to be consistent over time and over long periods of time. Setting your goals is great. Setting strategies to get to those goals is great. Consistency is going to be the one that is going to help you get to your goals. If you came to this video being a product manager, somebody that cares about product management, how to build products, how to plan them, and you're wondering what is the most important skill that a product manager needs, go check out this video. I will see you in the next one, and remember, stay safe.